The Golden State Warriors went into last season looking to accomplish one of the toughest challenges in the NBA, a three-peat. It's hard to accomplish for a reason. For a team with that much success, and to stay motivated and focused is almost impossible. It's human nature not to play the entire regular season at the same level. And when you have won back-to-back titles, you always will get every other team's best performance, as they will use that game as a measuring stick. The Warriors lost the most games in a single season last season since the dynasty started 5 years ago. Their offense continued to be one of the best in the league, but over the last 2 seasons, their defense hasn't been as good as it usually is. The lack of motivation led to their defense falling outside the top 10 in the last 2 seasons. But when the playoff starts, that's usually when a team like Golden State flipped the switch. They were ready to defend their title and accomplish a huge goal, but they suffered the worst luck at the wrong time. 2 of their best players went down with 2 serious injuries. Kevin Durant suffered an initial injury in the Rockets series and showed a lot of courage and fought hard trying to do whatever he could to get back to the team. That unfortunately led to a torn Achilles in Game 5 of the NBA Finals. That injury changed the landscape of the NBA. And to make matters worse, the Warriors were looking to tie the series up in Game 6, but Klay Thompson suffered a torn ACL. It was a very tragic end to a great run by the Warriors. The dynasty might not be over, but it has definitely hit a bump in the road at least. Both players showed great heart, and Klay Thompson even came back into the game and shot the free throws before ultimately going back into the locker room. The Toronto Raptors won the championship, and the Warriors were left with defeat, something they haven't experienced since 2016. For the first time in 4 years, the Warriors will go into the season as underdogs to win the championship. Klay Thompson made it known he wanted to stay with the Warriors, as he signed a 5-year, $190 million contract to stay with the team that drafted him in 2011. His recovery time is estimated at 8 to 12 months. He could return in February around the All-Star break at the earliest. KD showed a lot of signs of wanting to leave Golden State throughout the year, so it really wasn't a surprise when he left and signed with another team. He became an NBA champion with the Warriors, and he felt it was time for him to lead his own team. But the Warriors didn't leave empty-handed, as they were able to execute a sign and trade at the last minute and acquire one of the league's best combo guards, D'Angelo Russell. Some people didn't like the move, but I thought it was much needed, for the short term and the long term. You not only get a talented player, but that talented player is still only 23 years old and has a lot of room to grow. Russell is coming off his best season as a professional, having led the Brooklyn Nets to the playoffs for the first time in 4 years. His offensive skill set will definitely be needed, with Klay Thompson unavailable for at least half the season. D'Lo is well-rounded and is versatile in ways that can fit the Golden State Warriors. He has good vision and passing skills to help initiate the offense alongside Steph Curry, and both players can score off the ball. Russell did play the pick and roll a lot last season with the Nets, but that's not the only way he can contribute. He is also a good spot-up shooter, which would make his fit with the Warriors perfect. The attention that Steph Curry will have next season will lead to a lot of catch-and-shoot opportunities. D'Lo hit a little over 40% of his catch-and-shoot three-pointers last season. Russell will be up for the challenge. The offense should not be a problem for the Warriors next season, but their defense will probably take a hit. Russell is not known for his defense. Klay is hurt, Andre Iguodala and Shaun Livingston are no longer on the team. All are good defensive players. A former All-Star like Draymond Green needs to be the impact player he was a couple of years ago. He had somewhat of a resurgence in his game after KD had got hurt, but for the most part, Draymond doesn't impact the game like he used to. And they need the old Draymond Green now more than ever. He needs to be at least an average spot-up shooter and get back to being one of the best defensive players in the league. Instead of waiting until he hit free agency, the Warriors decided to give Draymond a 4-year, $100 million contract extension. They still believe in Draymond, and that should motivate him. He will have great expectations with the situation the Warriors are in now, and his play could be the reason if the Warriors still have a legit chance to still compete for a championship going forward. With players like KD, Shaun Livingston, Igoudala, DeMarcus Cousins, Quinn Cook, and Jordan Bell heading out, there are a couple of players coming in. Glenn Robinson III, Alec Burks, and Willie Cauley-Stein are new players that will get a chance to show what they're made of. Usually the Warriors get the best out of most of the players they sign. The Warriors need a wing that can defend multiple positions and knock down three-pointers. Robinson has not performed up to his talent level so far in his NBA career. Saying he's been inconsistent is an understatement. The Warriors hope Robinson can build off the second half of last season, as he posted a defensive rating of 99.1, which would have ranked #1 among Warriors players last season. He's really the only true small forward on the team at the moment, so they have a lot riding on Glenn Robinson this season. Alec Burks has spent most of his NBA career rehabbing injuries. When he's healthy, he can be a good scorer, and that's what the Warriors need coming off the bench. He was the guy that was picked after Klay Thompson in 2011. Burks is versatile enough to play the 1, 2, and the 3. He has averaged around 9 points per game on 42% shooting from the field and 36 from 3. The Sacramento Kings gave up on a former 6 overall pick, Willie Cauley-Stein. He turned down bigger deals in order to play for a first-class organization like the Warriors. He can't have the same success with the Warriors as JaVale McGee did. Cauley-Stein has had his desire and love for the game questioned over his time in the NBA. He's been inconsistent, but he's still a very talented player. He has shown he could be a good rim protector and is a good role man in the pick and roll. I believe he will get guaranteed minutes backing up big man Kevon Looney, who will also return to the Warriors. KD and Klay Thompson wasn't the only players playing their hearts out despite pain. Add Kevon Looney to that list. He played through pain after suffering a chest injury in the NBA Finals. He is one of the best defensive players on the team, and his presence will be even more important this upcoming season. He has improved leaps and bounds since being drafted 30th overall by the Warriors in 2015. But all eyes will be on the one and only Steph Curry. He could turn back to MVP Steph Curry, the guy we saw take the league by storm before KD signed. He was still able to show out occasionally with KD on the team, but he wasn't always as aggressive as he once was. The Warriors need him to be the transcendent player he was when he won league MVP. His conditioning needs to be top-notch, because a lot will be riding on his shoulders. It won't be easy for the Warriors to maintain their position in the playoffs, especially without Klay Thompson for at least a big part of the season. They will need their offense to carry the team, because their defense won't be as good as it has been over the years. I have the Warriors winning 48 games and finishing with the 8th seed. There will be a lot of new players on the team that will get a decent amount of minutes. Adding D'Angelo Russell to the mix will be an adjustment, but I believe the duo of him and Curry can be dangerous, but it may take some time. A lot of teams have gotten better in the West, and the Warriors will be missing an all-star for at least half the season. Keeping their heads above water before Klay gets back will be a challenge. Steph Curry will have to play like an MVP.